Okay, so now we're going to demo how to take the maxillary impression. This time we're going to use fast set alginate, okay? The working time is, mixing time is 45 seconds. Total working time is 1 minute and 30 seconds. So that means mixing is 45. By the time you load the tray, put it in the mouth, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to do all of that. Initial setting time is 1 minute and 45 seconds, okay? So we start first by getting gloves. So as I'm getting my gloves, you know that the fast set alginate is going to be a pink shade. It's going to be a pink color, a little cherry blossom we were talking about. And so you won't be able to mix them up, okay? You'll be able to know which is fast, which is regular, okay? So of course we start by fluffing away from us. We open it so we don't get the dust on us, okay? Again, we're going to use 3 scoops. This one here you don't want runny. You don't want a runny mix for this because then it will activate that gag reflex. And we close it up right away. Okay, get our water. We're going to do 3 scoops, so we're going to use the again, afterwards, then you come down and you check for that meniscus to make sure. So this time I cut back a little bit on the water because before it was too runny, and I know I definitely don't want this runny. Okay? I'm taking it, of course, that I had already, tried in the tray at the beginning before I took this. I wet my tray, tried it in, checked to see that I get behind 2 millimeters behind the molars. Make sure that I get enough vestibule. Again, I want to get the peripheral roll, which is the vestibule, okay? And you want to put light pressure on it. You don't want any see-throughs on it. So again, we'll go powder to water. And now I have 45 seconds, and I left some in there, so geez, is that pretty pink cherry blossom? Start off slow again so that I can gather all my mix first. Once I start to gather it like this, okay, then I can start going faster and start moving and getting all that excess alginate off of the side of the bowl. Remember, I don't want clumpy. Use both sides of the spatula when you're mixing to make sure you get the other powder or alginate that's on the other side. Okay, once I've gotten all my mix thoroughly there, I come in here, I load the tray, come from the front part, load it, taper it off in the back a little bit because we don't want it to go to the back of the patient's mouth. Usually when you have extra, what you do is, with a real person, you would take extra on your finger, you'd put it in the back because you want to get the details of the teeth. Okay, you'd come up and do some in the vestibule up in the front. This is with a real patient, okay? Then you come in and you would gently come up, okay? Now remember, we want the vestibule, so if you don't get it, then what you need to do is use the extra that you have on here to come in here and get that vestibule, okay? Because that's going to be part of your competency to make sure to get that vestibule. That doesn't mean you have to cover the entire Typodont and make sure I'm going to get that vestibule, okay? And this here, I didn't say it before on the other one, but these handles should come out with the peak of this part of the Typodont. So then you know that you have your centrals centered right in the middle of that tray, okay? Again, you stay with your patient, you check it, you leave some on your finger, you check that so that you know how it is, where at what point of setting it's at, okay? Lots of times you want to make sure here is where you tell the patient, okay, breathe through your nose, because they have a tendency, some of them, to start gagging. You stay with your patient, but since again I'm demoing for you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cleaning up. So this is something that would help you also when you're doing this, because you know how fast lab goes. And we have a lot to do in lab, so you want to make sure that you're prepared for the next one, okay? Part of your competency, we have those new, those new activity sheets. So part of it is keeping everything clean too. So that's a big part of being a demo assistant, is making sure you have everything where you need it and it's clean and put away properly, okay? All right, so you come back here, you check it, feels good. You break the seal if you need to with the cheek. Remember, the cheek will be there. And you then just pop it out, okay? I don't know if you can see that, okay? You would take your lab knife. You don't want to cut the vestibule, because I'll show you. This right here is the vestibule, okay? So you don't want to cut that off. What you want to do is cut just above the vestibule, just like that. Okay? See, so this here would be unacceptable, but this is just a little bit above that, okay? And this, all of this here is the vestibule, and that's what you want, okay? So here you would have to take it and cut that off. I'm trying to do this behind the camera, but that's how you would do it, okay? And then back here, you don't need all this extra, so you would cut that off also, okay?